Happy Monday, happy Monday. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Aaron B. And we got a special guest for y'all tonight. And is the NFL draft is coming soon. And if you didn't see the Super Bowl, you know it was all about the trenches. And we got one guy that we could see on in Sunday near you. Tulane defensive lineman, Adin Huntington. How's it going, Adin?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Aaron?
Doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk about it, get to know who you are, and just know everything how you got started and everything. So it's just great to talk football and stuff. That's all I got to say for sure.
All right,
Yes,
cool.
yes, sir. So my first question is, what age did you start playing football, and what position did you play? Were you
hmm
always a defensive lineman?
So I started around 5. I started playing football around 5, and I think around then, kind of just play everything: running back, O line, D line, linebacker. But as I got to high school, that's when I started playing that outside linebacker. I got moved to D line my sophomore year. Then ever since then, I just kind of played that D line everywhere across from nose, defensive tackle, DN, and then kind of throughout college, I just played everything. So now, I started off everything. Now I kind of played just strictly D line.
On the D line, what are you? Do you like the 3 tech? Or you like the 1 tech, 0 tech? What is like your favorite one to play?
Yeah, I think my favorite, would be the 3 tech. I think if I had to play that every down, I would. But if I just had to play 3 tech normal downs and had the ability to rush on the edge on third downs, that would be, ideal. Get on the edge, have some space. But if I had to play one position, it would be 3 tech.
Uh, I know a team that's looking for a 3 tech, and it's behind me right now. But we'll, we'll keep that for another time. But at what point did you start to think college football could be a possibility?
hmm I think for myself, I always had a high belief in myself, and I always thought I could really obtain anything I put my mind to. So, playing college football was always a goal. It was something, well, going to the NFL and playing NFL was the ultimate goal, but, I had to get to college first. But I think around going into my senior year of high school, that's when I really knew once I started getting those offers, those accumulation of offers, that's when I really knew, hey, playing in college is something that's going to be attainable and something that I'm going to do.
Yes, sir. And I also found out that you used to run track back in high school, and you did the 100, the 200, and the 400 relay, and you ran 11.4 in the 100 at the 2020 Commonwealth District meet in Virginia. But how's your track background benefit you on the football field?
Right. So I ran track in high school. That really gave me something else to do besides lift. It allowed me to learn how to open up my stride, allowed me to work on my conditioning, and it put me in a different element because now I'm running with skilled guys and I'm not just focused on lifting. So when I started running track, I started running my junior year, and then it actually translated immediately to my senior year season where I was able to chase down the quarterback, chase down plays. I'm chasing guys down backside, and then now it just kind of translates to my relentlessness, just being an overall athlete. I don't really see myself classified as a defensive lineman. I'm just a athlete that plays D line. So, track has helped me tremendously just with my speed, my conditioning, really learning how to run, and it's going to translate well.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when I was watching the film on you, like how explosive you are, getting out of your stance and everything. And like that's actually perfect description of your what position you play. You're a straight up athlete. They could move you around and stuff. So I definitely that versatility could be a beneficial for you when it comes to the next level for sure. So
Yes.
so my next question, staying on the defensive line, what's your go to counter move to get past a blocker or
Mhm.
any?
Yeah, so my go-to move, I would have to say, is the cross chop. I
Okay.
think if the game's on the line, I have to make a play. I'm gonna throw the cross chop. I feel like I set it up all game based off of what the offensive lineman's kind of giving me. I feel like I have a array of moves kind of depending on what I go through the film throughout the week. But um, no brainer game on the line. I'm gonna throw the cross chop. and I'm gonna get to the quarterback.
That's a good move. So, my next question: what NFL player do you model your game after?
I think, I kind of take bits and pieces from everybody. I love the relentlessness from Michael Parsons, the Max Crosby's. Um, but I really grew up on the Khalil Mack and the Aaron Donald. So watching Khalil Mack on the edge when he was at Buffalo and then going to the Raiders with that long arm, he had the ability to go speed to power. He had the athleticism to just win with speed and win with strength. And then when I started watching Aaron Donald, I seen how he was able to be quote unquote an undersized defensive tackle, but still had the strength, the speed, the quickness, the twitch, and still win with an array of moves and just was overall dominant. So really, I like to take bits and pieces, but if you watch my game from the three tech, you can see a lot of the Aaron Donald similarities, the Grady Jarrett's, the Geno Atkins, and if you watch me on the edge, one could say I kind of look like James Harrison when I stand up. I have some good speed around the edge, so it's kind of to each his own. But I kind of see myself as an Aaron Donald build.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That was like when I first saw you film. That's what I kind of it reminded me of the Aaron Donald and stuff. Because they always said, "Oh, he's undersized," but when he got to the league, you're looking at a bona fide Hall of Famer and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and you can go even back. Like I don't know. I know you probably heard of John Randall, another guy that
Right.
used to play for the Vikings. He was like, I think maybe like 6 foot or 6'1", probably around that same weight. But the way he played, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't even think about how big he was. He was just dominant.
Right. And I also grew up, my family's a big Eagles family. So I grew up watching the Reggie Whites, the Jerome Browns. So really those from Jerome Brown to Reggie White, those were my first two defensive linemen I was watching. Then it kind of transitioned to the Aaron Donalds and the Khalil Macks. And then if you want to go even farther, I was watching Derek Thomas when he was with the Chiefs, just straight relentless, straight speed, straight power. And then also you can't forget about Lawrence Taylor, so a lot of those guys I just like to watch a lot of things and kind of just throw it all together and make it into my own.
So I could definitely see you got the NFL history buff in you. Just trying to make sure you learn a little bit from the ones behind from the 80s to the 90s and the 2000s.
Right.
Yes, sir. But my next question is for you. I see you're a man of faith, and I see a lot of your posts and everything. You're not ashamed to express about your faith. So my first question is, how does your faith influence your approach to football, both on and off the field?
Mhm. Well, really, my faith approach, how I inherit that into football is, I try to keep God at the center of everything I do. So when I'm playing football, it's for His glory. When I'm working out, it's for His glory. Um, if it's when I'm going on the field, I just say, "Come on, Holy Spirit, I need you. Come on, God, I need you." If I'm working out and I'm about to unrack that weight, Holy Spirit, I need your strength. Give me some strength. So a lot of it has to do with just me knowing that God gave me these abilities for a reason. I have to use these abilities for His kingdom and for the right way. And then any really any glory or recognition I get, I try to deflect that to, hey, this was all God. This was all Him. And then that's kind of really how I try to incorporate God into what I do on the football field.
I love that answer. And my next one is, how do you stay grounded and maintain your faith through those tough times?
Mhm. I would really just have to say you gotta, know what His promises are to you. Know what His word says to you. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, give you a future and a hope. So anytime anything goes on, I just try to, man, what are His promises for me? I know Psalms 18:1. I love you, Lord, you are my strength. So if I know the Lord is my strength, then I could do anything. I could really do really anything He gives me the powers to. So I really try to just, stay grounded. I don't kind of look at anything as a as a loss or really a hard time. I kind of just see it as a projection. Like, man, where's God placing me? What's God doing in my life? So He can mold me into what I'm supposed to do for this next season. So anything that happens is kind of just, divine. And I just make sure that I use the season that I'm in, that what is he teaching me, so I can use it for the next season.
Yeah, I like that answer. And my next question before I get to the last one, how would how would you what would be advice to an athlete that wants to uh talk about God and to his teammates and everything when it comes to that?
Right. So for myself, I used to have a Bible study when I was at ULM, and the biggest part of it was, you know, a lot of the times we're bold outside of Christ. We're bold on the football field, we're bold in the locker room with some of our conversations, but we have to direct that boldness into his kingdom. So being bold with what he says. So the biggest thing for me was kind of getting out of that shell of being shy and fearful, talking about the Lord, and then just recognizing, hey, we all sin, we all have our own things that we go through. Let's just get together and talk about the word, and we could grow together. I mean, we all play sports. We all probably suffer through some similar things on the field and off the field. We all go to class and struggle with time management, but let's use God. So the advice I give to somebody is just approach it, fools, like how you would in the weight room. Hey, if God placed it on your heart to approach some guys, hey, start off sending text messages. That's what I was doing. I still do it. I send messages to guys, versus, you can send Instagram videos. There's sermons on Instagram that you could proclaim what he says, and then you have social media to use for his glory. So that's posting scripture, that's posting prayers, just allowing yourself to be put out there, so he could use God could use you to show his light, and so others can see that light within you.
So I'm getting on that your approach is more being transparent, and also you don't have to overthink it. Like you're saying, to
Right,
send posts and just sending some encouraging words to your friends, your
right,
teammates, and everything. Because I know a lot
right,
of people overthink it, like, oh, I got to have this big sermon and everything.
right,
You could just be something simple and
right.
like,
And it's not, and I like to say, it's not, I think we like to make things overcomplicated than it actually is. Like you said, it's it's an Instagram post, it's a text message, and we don't have to be perfect. That's what Jesus was for. Jesus was the one who was perfect. We just have to, be open with ourselves, be obedient, be faithful, and just follow his will. And if his will for us is go out and make disciples and go out and proclaim the truth, then that's what we should do. And that's and how we do it is kind of just, kind of up to us.
yeah, absolutely. And before I get to my last question, I know that was what I was saying, but I actually want to go a little deeper. Like, how important is it to have like people that can hold you accountable during those tough times?
Right. I think, you know, having people in your circle or in your village that hold you accountable, but to also lift you up, right?
Yeah,
So you can't go through things alone. You have to have a good support system. You have to have people around you to where that could pray for you, that could uplift you, that can encourage you, because within football there's going to be injuries, there's things that are not going to go right, you're not going to play well, but you kind of have to stay grounded in your roots, and um you know what kind of gets you going, and that's God. So having a similar people, like-minded people around you, whether that's going to FCA, like I said, having a Bible study, a church Bible study, just having guys around you that can lift you up and hold you accountable will kind of continue to push you along the way, instead of just having yourself.
for sure. And my last question is, if there's a NFL general manager watching this show, what would you like them to know about Aiden Huntington?
I think, first and foremost, that, I'm a man of God, because I think a lot of things will waver, but God is consistent. And me having my consistent faith in God just shows how consistent I am with the process, whether that's waking up at the same time, doing the same thing consistently, and putting the same effort in. That just shows who I am. Also, that I'm just a natural competitor. And ultimately, I'm going to make everybody else around me better just by my actions, just by how I approach the game, how I work out, how I hit the field. Because there's one speed to my game. You turn the tape on, there's one speed that I play with, and I'm relentless. And and them watching that tape, they're also going to see that I'm multiple, that I've been dominant at almost every position that I played at. I've been all conference in 2 different conferences, playing 2 different positions, and I've done new things in all different types of schemes. So if a coach sees me and he's watching this, it's you could pick your poison. If you want me to play 3 tech, I could play 3 tech. I showed in 2023 that I was as productive or more productive than Jazon Newton was, and he was a All-American, got drafted in the 2nd round. And if you check this year's film, I rushed at 20.4% pass rush rim weight. So that's kind of up there in the top 10 guys in this class in general, as a 285-pound defensive tackle that never played outside linebacker. So, really you could throw anything at me. I'm going to approach at full speed. I'm going to attack it. Also, I play special teams. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to run down on kickoff. I'm going to go try to block the punt. I was on punt block. I was on punt protection. So really, if a team comes drafts me, I like to say I'm not the typical defensive tackle, 320-pound, just run stopper. I'm going to rush the quarterback. You can use me on special teams, and I can stop the run. So if a GM was watching that, that would kind of be my pitch.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that right there. And if any general manager, I think you should draft this guy. If you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. But I appreciate you, Adin, for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Before I let you go, where can they follow you in all your social medias and what you got going on as well?
Yeah, so you can follow me at 45 Run It Up. The number is 45 Run It Up, RUNITUP. That's on Instagram and then Twitter. And right now I'm currently training for the draft. My pro day is March 25th at the Saints facility in New Orleans. So, we're just going to continue to train, and then, it's going to be lights out from there. So just praying and continue to work hard. So it's been a blessing.
Sure. I can't wait to hear your name on Sundays, and best of luck at your pro day.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you for having me once again.
Yes, sir. This has been Tacos and Touchdowns. Y'all have a good one.